What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to be getting into the Final Four predictions. The road is nearly over. It's very shocking Final Four, honestly. Besides Kansas, and Villanova, maybe didn't really expect Villanova that much, but besides Kansas and Villanova, I maybe could have seen North Carolina, Duke, maybe, but anyway. I just want to, before I get into these predictions, um, my bracket's been horrible this year. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. It was a horrible bracket. Whoever said in the comments that this bracket was not gonna do well, you were right. I was completely off. Not only did I have no Final Four teams, I only had one Elite Eight team, right, and that was actually pretty surprising one in Arkansas. So I'm proud that I'm right about that, but I'm not proud of my performance. I really, in my bracket poll thing with my group, the only thing that lifted me were upsets. It was favoring upsets. The only thing that lifted me were upsets to that 10th spot. That's really it. But yeah, let's get into this predictions and the road for these teams. Duke, North Carolina. What a matchup. Like, how does this happen? I don't even know. I was not expecting either of these teams to make the Final Four at all entering into this. But Duke, they flipped the script. Just like that, they flipped it. And they played like the best team in the country. For Coach K, I guess I underestimated Coach K's coaching abilities or something, because I was not expecting that in Duke losing in the second round to Michigan State. Michigan State actually did play well, but Duke pulled away. Disciplined fight for them. And then North Carolina, man, taking down St. Peter's, and they really had St. Peter's rattled in that game, man. St. Peter's, basically for this whole tournament, no one could figure them out, even Purdue. North Carolina, they don't have nearly as big players as Purdue, and they still beat St. Peter's. That's St. Peter's weakness entering into that game. I even said in my Sweet 16 predictions, if there's no way St. Peter's wins Purdue, they did it. And then I thought, if they could beat Purdue, they could definitely beat North Carolina. I was wrong about that. So I'm wrong about a lot of things this tournament. But yeah, Duke against North Carolina here. Congratulations to North Carolina. I had them losing in the second round to Baylor. I was debating about that one to go the upset or not, but it ended up being not so. So anyway, let's get into these predictions. This first game, then we'll go over those two teams. Duke, North Carolina. This rivalry, we've all been waiting for it. And, North Carolina's played very good this tournament. Very good. But Duke, I've been more impressed with. Duke, I feel like, has played harder teams than North Carolina. Michigan State's a very tough 7 seed there. And Texas Tech easily would have been the Final Four team out of that region without Duke in it. There's not even a question about that. Texas Tech, they didn't get enough credit for that. And then you got to go through Arkansas as a 4 seed. You got to play the top 2 defenses in the country. Now that's insane. North Carolina, tough road too. They had to defeat a number 1 seed, and they had to defeat a good Marquette team at 9. They also had to defeat UCLA, if that was their toughest matchup, and then St. Peter's. St. Peter's, tough matchup, but they figured St. Peter's out in that game. I've been more impressed with Duke, though, and it's really because of those reasons. They were able to take down Texas Tech and Arkansas, 2 of the best, arguably the best defenses in the league. And that is going to have a problem for North Carolina. I feel like Duke can run the score on North Carolina. North Carolina, great run, but Duke is playing too good right now. I don't see them losing that game. So yeah, I got Duke. And then over down here, Villanova, Kansas. Let's look at the road for these two teams. Villanova. Villanova honestly didn't have the toughest road. Had to play a difficult Ohio State team, but I would say, Ohio State, they play good basketball. They turn things around kind of like Duke. I wasn't expecting that out of them. They play good basketball, but they weren't. Clearly, Villanova was the better team in that game. Villanova avoided to play Tennessee, which I think they would have lost. And then they avoided to play Arizona. So they played Michigan. Michigan is a good team, but Villanova is clearly better in that game. And they had to play Houston, which Houston, toughest matchup by far. Houston was playing their greatest basketball, but Villanova had them. Houston wasn't being able to make their shots, but that was a good game for Villanova, man. Villanova, people should stop sleeping on Villanova. This is a good team. And then Kansas. If I look at the road for Kansas to get here, Kansas had to play, in my opinion, the toughest of the 8 and 9 seeds. Even tougher than Creighton. North Carolina, honestly, even tougher than North Carolina. I feel like if Creighton got matched up with those opportunities against Baylor and UCLA, well, maybe they would have lost. I would have picked UCLA to upset at the time, but Creighton, I feel like, could easily go onto a Final Four run, just like North Carolina with that road. But Kansas was the better team in that game. And then Kansas had to play Providence, which Providence, hats off to them. They're a good 4 seed, but definitely one of the weaker of the 4 and 5s. I would have thought they would have had a much tougher matchup against Iowa, at least the Iowa team that we saw in the regular season. And then Kansas against Miami. And Miami is a good team, but they had to go through USC, which I think is a very weak 7 seed. Auburn, one of the weaker 2 seeds. And then Iowa State, which hats off to Iowa State, but that was a split-even matchup that they were able to get done. And then they just ran away. So Kansas's road has been easier than Villanova's. And I wouldn't say that. Duke's road's definitely been the hardest, but Villanova, Kansas, both these teams had to do a lot to get here, but both these teams knows that this is their toughest matchup by far, these two teams. But I think Kansas is the better team over Villanova. People should stop sleeping on Villanova, though. They're a Final Four team for a reason. They could easily beat Kansas in this game if things go right. They got the talent. They got the experience. They got the coaching to do it. But I just feel like Kansas is the better team. And then for the championship, we got Duke and we got Kansas. Kansas obviously entering into this game just beat Villanova, and Duke beat North Carolina. So both these teams, man, this is a tough championship. I hope we get this one, honestly. These two teams are split even. Duke is playing their best basketball. Kansas is playing their best basketball. And with all the chaos and with all the number 1 seeds that went down in the Sweet 16, Kansas have prevailed to advance on to the Final Four, beat Villanova, and then have it to play a very tough Duke. Hardest matchup for them. But I'm going to have the Kansas Jayhawks winning their first national championship in a long time. Coach K's season will end with a disappointment loss, at least in my eyes. This game could go either way. Basically, either of these games could go either way. I could see either of these teams, any of these teams winning it, but I got Kansas. I think they're the best team. People also kind of sleeping on Kansas as well. Don't sleep on Kansas. The Jayhawks are a scary team. Should have picked them to go to my Final Four, but yeah, I had to go with the number 5 seed Iowa, who lost to Richmond. So anyway, guys, thank you all for watching this video today. Comment down below your Final Four predictions. And yeah, I'm excited for it. But anyway, peace out.